we should have grabbed both of the handouts from the back too. One of them are your notes for today and tomorrow. Okay, so that's the one with the blanks and the guided notes. So make sure you have out a writing utensil so you can be filling those notes in as we go. The other one is your homework. So go ahead and put that away because you're not going to be working on it during class or I'm going to take it. Okay, so put your homework away. It's the Prepositional Phrases worksheet. Alright, so today we are going to be starting a really teeny tiny unit where we're talking about phrases when it comes to grammar. So we'll talk about prepositional phrases today. We're going to talk about appositive phrases tomorrow. Oh, it would be good if I put that in my computer. And then we are going to be working on diagramming on Friday and Monday, and then Tuesday you guys are going to have a test. So it's going to be super short, it's going to be super fast, and for a lot of you, a lot of this stuff should be reviewed because you should have done a lot of it at the junior high already. So make sure you have your guided notes in front of you, pencil ready to go and fill those in, and we're off to the races. Okay, so we're going to start by talking about phrases and what phrases are. And if you're still getting logged in to join PD, it looks like I'm still missing a couple of you. Oh, in theory, the code would be in the upper right-hand corner. Oh, it's on the board behind me. Okay, there you go. Code is on the board behind me. So make sure you get logged in as soon as you can because I'm still missing a couple people. So phrases, what phrases are, is they are a group of related words that's used as a single part of speech. Phrases are distinguished from clauses because phrases do not contain a subject and a verb. Whereas when we talk about clauses, like independent clauses, subordinate clauses, that kind of thing, they do contain a subject and a verb. So phrases do not. Now, phrases can be classified in two different ways. We can classify them according to the job they do in the sentence. So they could be an adjective phrase, an adverb phrase, a noun phrase, a verb phrase, etc. Or we can classify them according to the way they are formed. So are they a prepositional phrase, an appositive phrase, a gerund phrase, an infinitive phrase, a participial phrase, etc. And we'll talk about all those other phrases that I mentioned later on in the semester. We're just going to focus on prepositional phrases and appositive phrases this week. All right, so let's talk prepositions. I'm going to go move my little dude is in the way. Out of the way. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so prepositions. When we're just talking like the basic part of speech, the preposition. Just a quick reminder on prepositions. A preposition is a word that shows the relationship between a noun and a pronoun and another word in the sentence. Okay, so it kind of helps establish relationship. On your computer, if you remember any of the prepositions, go ahead and type them out for me. What are the prepositions you guys remember? Nice. A lot of us are remembering at least some of the prepositions. Okay, so there's a lot of prepositions. A lot. Some of the prepositions, relax guys. Now you're having fun typing out all the prepositions. A lot of the prepositions you guys can do with a box. Like imagine that I had a box right here. Okay, I could be in the box. So in would be a preposition. I can be beside the box. Beside is a preposition. I can be in front of the box. Preposition, in front of. I can be under the box, over the box. Okay, if I have two boxes, in between the boxes. Okay, so prepositions can be done in conjunction with a box, but not all of them. There's like a core 6 that we use all the time that you can't do in relation to a box. I'm going to see if I remember. Miss K might be able to help me out. So the core 6 are for, to, of, with, from. What was the last one? one that we...
There's always one that...
I know, there's always one we forget.
About.
No, that's not one of the core ones you see all the time. I don't remember. But anyways, okay, so those are the ones that we use a lot, like especially of and to, that are prepositions that you can't really do in relation to a box. Here's a whole list of them. I'll probably remember if I'm looking at this. Oh, at. It's definitely at. Okay, at would be the last one. So this is a list of a lot of prepositions. Again, this is not all of them, right? There's a lot more, but that's just some of them to kind of refresh your memory on what a preposition is. All right, so why are we talking about prepositions? Well, because we have to talk about prepositional phrases. Okay, prepositional phrases, you guys, are groups of words that will always start with a preposition. Okay, prepositional phrases always 100% of the time start with a preposition, and then they have to end with what's called the object of a preposition. Now, the object of a preposition is always going to be a noun or a pronoun. So, prepositions will always be followed by a noun or a pronoun that's part of the prepositional phrase. Other things that you can have in the prepositional phrase are any modifiers of that noun or pronoun object of the preposition. A lot of times we see the word the. Okay, the articles are usually present, like an or the. You might have other adjectives describing that object of the preposition, that noun or pronoun that follows the preposition. All of that stuff is part of the prepositional phrase. Okay, so here's an example of what this looks like. We waited at the corner. Okay, we is the subject of our sentence, waited is the verb. Then we have this prepositional phrase, at the corner. At is our preposition. Corner is our object of the preposition. It's the noun that follows the preposition. The is modifying corner, so all of this is the prepositional phrase. You guys with me so far? This ringing bells, kind of coming back from middle school? Hopefully. Okay, here's another example. The girl with the red hair is Polly. Okay, with the red hair is our prepositional phrase. Our preposition is with. Okay, remember, prepositional phrases will always start with a preposition. Not with preposition. Okay, so with is our preposition. Our prepositional phrase always ends at the object of the preposition, so the noun or pronoun that follows it. Hair is our object of the preposition. It's our noun that's part of that prepositional phrase. The and red are both describing hair. So all of this is a prepositional phrase. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? Smelling what I'm stepping in? Okay. Now here's the next component when we're talking about prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases are always going to function as either adjectives or adverbs in a sentence. Whoa, wait, what? You're telling me that a whole group of words can function as an adjective or an adverb? Yep, I sure am. Okay, because the prepositional phrase kind of works as one unit to modify another word in the sentence. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about, well, how do we figure out what this prepositional phrase is doing and what word it's modifying? All right, but first, before we get to that, let's do some practice at identifying prep phrases. So, on your computer, I want you to underline the prepositional phrase or phrases that are present in the sentence. Okay, let's try to finish in 5. All right, most of us got it. Nice job. Okay, remember, you're looking for your preposition, and then the noun that follows is where your prepositional phrase will end. So our preposition in this sentence, everyone, is what? Oh my gosh, shout it out. Everyone, what's our preposition in this sentence? What? You all got it right. Come on. You know it. What's our preposition in this sentence? During. During is our preposition. Okay, then we have to look, where is the object of the preposition? Where is the noun or pronoun that follows? That would be season. Okay, it's the noun that's functioning as the object of our preposition. So during the rainy season is our prepositional phrase, because the and rainy are modifying season. You guys with me? Yeah, it looks like you're doing pretty well. Try this one. Try to finish in 5. Show me on your fingers, how many prepositional phrases do we have in this sentence? Right, we've got 2. All right, first one. Shout it out. Where's the preposition? On. Okay, on. Remember, I can be on a box. Okay, so on is our preposition. October 22nd is our object of the preposition. This one's a date. Okay, so on October 22nd, that's the first one. Where's our second preposition? What else can I do with a box, Ben? In. I can be in a box. So in is our second preposition. Sioux Falls, South Dakota is the object of the preposition. So you have to include both of those. So it would be in Sioux Falls, South Dakota is the second prepositional phrase. Now, why isn't it just Sioux Falls? Why is it Sioux Falls, South Dakota instead of just Sioux Falls? Can anybody explain that to me? What do you think, Chance? Okay, so like we wouldn't know which Sioux Falls we're talking about. We're probably not the only Sioux Falls that's in the United States, right? It's a proper noun. Okay, it's all capitalized, so it's all part of the same name, which is why we have to include the whole thing. Chance, do you have a question? Or are you just stretching? Okay, sounds good. Ben? Yes, go ahead. Go ahead and move behind Santi. All right, so now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about how we can kind of classify these prepositional phrases. So again, I told you, prepositional phrases will always function as either adjectives or adverbs because they work as one unit to modify or add more information about another word in the sentence. So first, we're going to talk about prepositional phrases that function as adjectives. And to shorten it, so we're not calling it adjective prepositional phrases, like that's a mouthful. We'll just call them adjective phrases, okay? So an adjective prepositional phrase, or adjective phrase, modifies a noun or a pronoun, just like a regular adjective, right? Adjectives, we know, have to modify nouns or pronouns in a sentence. So what this prepositional phrase is going to do is it's going to work as one unit to modify a noun or a pronoun. Now, we can still use our adjective questions when we're working with prepositional phrases. Okay, remember, way back at the beginning of the year, I know you probably forgot everything already from the beginning of the year, but we talked about adjectives when we were reviewing parts of speech. And I told you that we have these questions that we can ask to help determine what the adjective is modifying. We can use the exact same questions when we're working with prepositional phrases. So these are our adjective questions. What kind, which one, how many, and how much. So the phrase, we should be able to use the phrase to answer one of those 4 questions to figure out what word we're modifying. All right, well that sounds confusing, so how does that work? Let me show you. Okay, so here's an example. The rooms of the house smelled musty. Of the house is my prepositional phrase. It starts with one of those common 6 prepositions of. It's followed by the object of the preposition house, and we have the as the modifier. So this is the Well, now we have to figure out, okay, what word in the sentence is that prepositional phrase modifying or giving us more information about? What do you guys think? What do we think this prepositional phrase is giving us more information about? Okay, the rooms. Okay, the rooms, because it's answering the question, what kind of rooms, right? Well, it's the rooms of the house. So of the house is modifying or giving us more information about rooms. Nice job on that one. Okay, here's our next example. Hundreds of outstanding students are in class now. Okay, of outstanding students is our prep phrase. It starts with one of our common prepositions of, ends with the object of the preposition students. Outstanding is an adjective modifying students, so the whole thing is the prepositional phrase. Now this one's a little tricky, okay, but we have to figure out what word is that prep phrase modifying or adding more information about in the sentence. What do you think, Malachi? Hundreds. Okay, hundreds is actually a noun. Okay, so this is telling us what kind of hundreds. Well, it's hundreds of outstanding students. So do you see how it's answering one of those adjective questions? Nice job. Okay, do we feel like we're kind of getting this? Taking your silence as a yes, and we're moving on. Okay, here we go. So several adjective phrases may also be modifying the same noun. Okay, so you can have several prepositional phrases in a row that both work together to modify the exact same noun in a sentence. So here's an example of what that might look like. The girl with the trumpet in the next house keeps us awake. So we have two prep phrases, with the trumpet and then in the next house. Both of those phrases are working to modify which word? Marcus? Girl. Okay, with the trumpet is telling us which girl we're talking about. In the next house is also telling us which girl we're talking about. We're talking about the girl in the next house, and we're talking about the girl with the trumpet. So both of those are working together to modify the exact same noun. An adjective phrase can also modify the object of another prepositional phrase. What? Mind blowing. I know, isn't that crazy? But remember, adjective phrases have to modify nouns or pronouns. Well, your object of your prep phrase is always going to be a noun or a pronoun. So you could have a prepositional phrase modifying the object of another prepositional phrase. So here's what this would look like. The book on the table in the hallway is mine. Two prep phrases, on the table and in the hallway. So let's start with on the table. What is on the table modifying? What is it giving us more information about? Someone I haven't heard from today. Book. You got this. You can all do it. I know you can. Diana, what do you think? On the table is telling us what? Yeah, okay, it's modifying book. It's telling us which book we're talking about, right? It's answering that adjective question, which one? All right, how about in the hallway? What word in the sentence is in the hallway giving us more information about? What do you guys think? Chance, what do you think? Table. Yeah, it's telling us where that table is, right? It's telling us which table we're talking about. So it's answering again, which one? Which table? The one in the hallway. Okay, so do you see how we can have a prepositional phrase modifying the object of another prepositional phrase? Pretty sweet, huh? Is this new information, or are you like, yeah, we know this? Okay, good job. All right, moving on. Let's practice. So I want you to underline only the adjective phrase or phrases that are present in this sentence. So before you underline, make sure you know which word it's modifying, okay, and draw an arrow to the word it's modifying. If you underline it, it better be modifying a noun or pronoun, right? Because that's what adjective phrases do. They modify nouns or pronouns. Make sure you guys add those arrows to the words or phrases modifying. Take about another 20 seconds here to finish up. Look at this. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Look at this. Oh my goodness, what a mess. All right, let's talk about this here. How many adjective phrases did you guys find in this sentence? Show me on your fingers. How many did we find? How many are there? Show me on your fingers. There's 2. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's see if we found them correctly. Who can give me one? Peyton, give me one. About his engineers. About is our preposition. Engineers is our object of the preposition. His is modifying engineers. So about his engineers. Peyton, where did you draw your arrow? What word is that adjective phrase modifying? Comments. Right? It's telling us more about the comments. What kind of comments is he making? He's making comments about his engineers. So it's answering one of those adjective questions. What kind? All right. Maddie, you're up. Give me the second one. In military roads. Okay, in is our preposition. Remember, I can be in a box. Roads is our object of the preposition. Military is describing the roads, so that's our prepositional phrase. All right, Maddie, what is that one modifying? Interest. What? Interest is a noun? Sure darn is. Okay, interest is a noun, so we're modifying interest. Those are our 2 adjective phrases. Nice job. Try this one. Okay, again, underline the adjective phrase or phrases and draw an arrow to the word modifying. Remember, the word you're modifying has to be a noun or a pronoun in order for it to be an adjective phrase. Take about 20 seconds to finish up. Show me on your fingers. How many adjective phrases are in this sentence? One adjective phrase. Okay, what's the rule with an adjective phrase? An adjective phrase has to modify what? What, Tate? A noun or a pronoun. All right, let's take a look. We traveled down the roads of ancient Rome. Now, how many prepositional phrases do we have in this sentence? We have 2, right? We have 2 prepositional phrases, but only one of them is an adjective phrase. So let's first start by identifying our prepositional phrases. Okay, then we'll figure out which one's an adjective phrase. So, Diana, give me one of the prepositional phrases in this sentence. Down the roads is one. Okay, down is our preposition. Roads is our object of the preposition. Those modifying roads. That's one. Okay, where's our second prepositional phrase? Marcus. Of ancient Rome. Of is our preposition. Rome is our object of the preposition. Ancient's modifying Rome. That's our second one. Now, what are they modifying? Which one is our adjective phrase modifying a noun or a pronoun? Marcus, what do you think?
Down the road.
Nope. What is down the roads modifying? What is it telling us more information about? What? Travel. It's telling us where we travel. So it's modifying what part of speech is traveled. Oh man, please don't tell me we have to go back to basics. What part of speech is traveled, guys? It's a verb. Okay? It's modifying a verb. Remember, our adjective phrases have to modify a noun or a pronoun. If it's modifying a verb, it's something else, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. Okay, so of ancient Rome should hopefully be modifying a noun or a pronoun. So what word in the sentence is it modifying? Ashton, what do you think? Did you get it? Take a guess. Of ancient Rome is telling us more information about what word in the sentence? Yeah! Nice job, Ashton. It's giving us more information about the roads, right? It's telling us what kind of roads. Well, it's the roads of ancient Rome. Roads is a noun, which makes of ancient Rome an adjective phrase. You guys with me? Is this making sense? Alright, so what the heck? Down the roads is modifying a verb. So what kind of phrase would that make it, do you think? Not an adjective phrase, but a what? Does anybody remember what part of speech modifies a verb? Malachi? An adverb. So down the roads is an adverb phrase. Nice segue, huh? An adverb prepositional phrase will modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb in the sentence. Now, did you guys notice our adjective phrases? I'm going to go back to the example here. Okay, our adjective phrases like of ancient Rome, modifying the roads, they always came directly after the word that they modified. Did you guys notice that? Adjective phrases are pretty sweet like that, where they'll always come like right next to whatever word they're modifying. Adverb phrases are not as nice. Okay, they don't do that. But adverb phrases will answer the adverb questions. When, where, why, how, and to what extent. So here's an example of what an adverb phrase would look like. Okay, we saw one on our previous example that we just did, but here's another one. The fox escaped into its hole. Okay, into its hole is the prepositional phrase, and it's telling us where the fox escaped. Okay, so it's answering that adverb question where, and it's modifying the verb escaped. That's how we know it's an adverb phrase. Here's another one. The freshmen are the most amazing of all the other classes. Well, you didn't hear it from me. Anyway. Okay, of all the other classes is the prepositional phrase. Well, what is it modifying? It's telling us to what extent the freshmen are amazing, right? And amazing is what part of speech? Does anybody know? What part of speech is amazing? Oh, this cake is amazing. Malachi, what do you think? It's an adjective. Okay, so here we have our prepositional phrase modifying an adjective. Okay, remember, adverb phrases can modify a verb, adjective, or another adverb. So don't forget about those. Okay, adverb phrases don't just modify verbs. They can also modify adjectives and other adverbs as well. Okay, so I kind of already mentioned this, but unlike adjective phrases, which always follow the words that they modify, adverb phrases don't. Okay, they don't. They can appear anywhere in the sentence, which is why those adjective and adverb questions are super duper important to use, you guys. Okay, make sure you're memorizing those and utilizing them. You can also, just like adjective phrases, you can have more than one adverb phrase modifying the same word. So here's an example of that. In the first few innings, Jerry pitched with admirable control. So in the first few innings is telling us when he pitched. So it's answering that adverb question, when. Okay, and then with admirable control is telling us how he pitched. So it's answering that adverb question, how. So both of these phrases are modifying the same word, which is totally fine, right? But we know they're adverb phrases because they're both modifying that verb pitch. All right, let's do some practice. So I want you guys to underline the adverb phrase or phrases in this sentence and then draw an arrow to the word it's modifying. You guys use the questions. Okay, use those adverb questions to help you out. Let's try to finish in 5. All right, nice job, guys. Overall, this is looking really good. How many adverb phrases do we have in this sentence? Show me on your fingers. How many adverb phrases in this sentence? Everyone show me on your fingers. How many adverb phrases in this sentence? Uno, 1. We have 1. Okay, where is it? Logan, where's our adverb phrase in this sentence?
4 pine cones.
4 pine cones. 4 is one of those key prepositions. Okay, pine cones is our object of the preposition. So 4 pine cones it is. Now, we have to figure out what word is 4 pine cones modifying. Some of you drew an arrow to ground. What part of speech is ground? What part of speech is ground? You guys know? Yeah. Malachi, what part of speech is ground? It's a noun. Okay, do adjective phrases modify nouns? Oh wait, I said that wrong. Yes, they do. Do adverb phrases modify nouns? No, they do not. Okay, remember, adverb phrases have to modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. So we can't draw an arrow here. Also, you guys, if you use your adjective questions, if you know that this is a noun, and if you're drawing an arrow, this should be an adjective phrase. But if you use those adjective questions, none of them make sense. Okay, what kind, which one, how many, and how much? How can you use 4 pine cones to answer any of those questions? What kind of ground? No, it doesn't work. Which ground? Nah, it doesn't work. How many grounds? Nah, it doesn't work. Okay, do you see how that just, it doesn't make sense? So we know that that doesn't work. All right, so what do we think? What is 4 pine cones actually modifying in this sentence? Layton, what do you think? 4 pine cones is modifying which word in the sentence? Searched. It's answering one of those adverb questions. Where? Where? Or no, excuse me, what? What did we search for? We've searched for pine cones. Questions will help you. Okay, try this one. Let's finish in 5. Okay, we have two prepositional phrases in this sentence, right? We just have to figure out, are both of those prepositional phrases functioning? I'm not functioning today. Functioning as adverb phrases or as adjective phrases. So, who have I not picked on today? Santi, give me one of the prepositional phrases in this sentence. In their pockets. In is the preposition, pockets is the adjective of the preposition, there is modifying pockets. In their pockets is one. Where's the second one, Jamie? For good luck. For is the preposition, luck is the adjective of the preposition, good is modifying luck, for good luck is the second one. Okay, now, it's the tricky part. We have to figure out how they're functioning and what words they're modifying. Use the questions. Use the adjective and the adverb questions to help you. All right, in their pockets. Let's start with that one. What word in the sentence is in their pockets modifying? What do we think? What do you think, Chance? Carry. Nice job. In their pockets is telling where they carry. It's answering one of the adverb questions, where. Now, quite a few of you guys said in their pockets was modifying nuts. Okay? Now, I can see how that would be confusing because you could technically say which nuts, the nuts in their pockets.
That would be lost.
Ooh, now I'm second guessing myself. I'm second guessing myself. I think you can make an argument for either case there. You can do carry or nuts. So you know what? If you did nuts, I think I'm going to okay that because that one's really tricky. In their pockets. Which one's the nuts in their pockets? Yeah. Well, where they carry? Oh, that's a Sophia question.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're going to ask her later. Mrs. Hermanson, which a lot of you guys will have next year for sophomore English. She is our grammar queen, so any grammar that stumps us, we go to her. So we're going to ask her that one. All right, but for good luck, this one has a correct answer. I know for sure. What is for good luck modifying in the sentence? What do we think? A lot of you got it right. Don't be shy. Malachi, what do you think? Yeah, for good luck is telling us why they carry the nuts, right? So it's answering that adverb question, why. Beautiful job. All right, now this one's mixed practice. So there may be adjective and adverb phrases present. So what you guys have to do is underline the phrases, draw an arrow to the word they're modifying, and then label them as either adjective or adverb phrases. Ask your questions, you guys. Be very, very careful with this one. Use those adjective and adverb questions to help you. Make sure you label the phrase as adjective or adverb as well. So far, I only have 2 people that have it. Well, 3 people that have it 100% correct. Four. right, more of you are getting it. Nice job, guys. Let's take about 10 more seconds to finish up. Now, a good way to test yourself, you guys, if you draw that arrow and you label it as either an adjective or an adverb phrase, make sure that you can answer one of those adjective or adverb questions utilizing the phrase, just like I've kind of been demonstrating to you. That's a good way to just kind of self-check that you got the correct answer. As we carried on there, a lot more of you figured out that you were mistaken with one of the phrases and you fixed it, so nice job. Let's take a look at this together. We walked through the desert towards an unknown destination. So we have two prepositional phrases in this sentence. Who can give me one? Creighton, can you give me one of the prepositional phrases? Through the desert is the first one. Where's the second one? Logan, where's the second one? Towards an unknown destination. So those are our two. Now we just have to figure out, okay, what are they modifying? So let's start with through the desert. What word is through the desert modifying? Maddie Honerman. Walked. Now, Maddie, if it's modifying walked, is it an adjective or an adverb phrase? Adverb. And it's answering one of those adverb questions. It's answering where we walked. We walked through the desert. All right, how about the second one? Towards an unknown destination. What is that modifying? Aiden! Aiden, what is towards an unknown destination modifying? Again, walked. Right? So Aiden, if it's modifying walked, is it an adjective or adverb phrase?
Adverb.
Adverb. It's again telling us where we walked. So we're answering that adverb question where for both of those phrases. Where did we walk? Through the desert. Where did we walk? Toward an unknown destination. You guys getting it? I think we have time for one more. Try this one. Takes about 10 more seconds to finish up. All right, this one we have three phrases. Here we go. I'm just going to give you the answer because we're kind of running out of time. So for the child is the first one. It's modifying cares. Okay, this one was a little bit tricky because it doesn't perfectly answer any of those adverb questions, but it is an adverb phrase. Stop packing up. You want to listen to this. Then we have with the red bow. It's modifying child. It's telling us which child. And then on her head is modifying bow. Okay, so with the red bow and on her head are both adjective phrases. Shouldn't have packed up because I got one more question for you. Never pack up till I tell you to. All right, just tell me how well you understood what we covered today by just dragging your little dot. This is just for my eyes, so I know where you're at. Then you can pack up, and don't forget about your homework tonight.